In today's video, I'm working on the covers. I've added a little bit of edge and a few other things you'll want to see to our assembly line junk journals. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie and I'm here with the next video for the August Assembly Line Junk Journal Challenge. I'm going to make the covers, and so I am going to go ahead and use the wallpaper, and I have cut out 3 of these and have them ready. So the next thing that I'm going to do is add some glue to my page right in the center, because our bandage isn't always holding real super tight. But I have this bandage tape that I'm using. It is a junk journal after all, and I'm going to go ahead and put this down. This was gifted to me in Happy Mail, and so I am using it, and I'm using it to reinforce the binding, so the glue will help with that. So now I have to go ahead and fold it back over, and then I have to play with it a little bit so it knows that I am the boss. And now I'm going to use 12 by 12 piece of paper. I need it to be 12 by 9. This way is the measure. I need one side to be 9 and the other to be 12. So that'll give me that. And then I have already cut my pocket page. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use for the pocket. So these are both from my stash. If you were at the party for the May Mayhem Junk Journal Challenge VIP, I did use this same green paper for that. So this is a little bit bigger than 12, so I'm going to have to cut a little bit off of it. That happens sometimes with these 12 by 12 papers. They're not truly 12 by 12 sometimes. Okay, so this is going to be the inside of my cover. It's going to have this. I'm going to go ahead. This is already, it's 4 inches by 12. Okay. And so that's going to give me my big pocket. Like that. And it is also a little bit too big. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside because I need to work on my cover first, because I'm going to sew it on. I like to sew it on when I use this, the wallpaper. So we'll go ahead, and it needs to go on this side, and I thought I would use the crossword puzzle because I have been using that in here and I like it. And then we have this cutoff that we haven't used yet. So I'm thinking right about there. So I need to measure it just so that I know for the other ones. Okay. So right at 7.5 for the big side, and there's the little one. So we'll go ahead and cut those assembly line. That way they're already taken care of. 1, 2, and here's the third one. So those, I can put those over here with all my items. And okay, so now we could go ahead and tear around that. Are you gonna use anything? Okay, so what else do I have? I have card. I have that. I have these. I have the bottom of a guest check. And oh, I have the Tim Holtz, these big butterflies that I didn't use yet. I want to use these. So there's one, there's two, there's, save the yellow one. I might use that on the sunflower journal. Okay, so okay, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and rip this. So rip all the way around these. We'll go ahead and fast forward through that. Okay, so we have those ready for the other ones, and so let's go ahead and see if one of these cards is going to work. Okay, I really like the gold outline there. Yeah, I like the orange one better than the blue. So, do we have a couple more? Yes, we do. Okay, so if we go ahead and we get out our glue stick, because we're going to sew these down. So we'll be sewing those on, and okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go sew those on. I wonder if I should go ahead and just sew it straight on to our crossword puzzle. I'm going to do that, so I need to go ahead and rip out 2 more crossword puzzles. Be right back. Okay, so I have my 2 more crossword puzzles, and we'll go ahead and attach these as well to our, what we'll be sewing. So I want to make sure my butterfly's down and my numbers are up. On my numbers up on my crossword, butterfly at the bottom of my card. Okay, so here, come over, put it on. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead, and sew around these. I think I'll sew around the card, and I'll see if I want to sew around this also. Actually, we can put it all on here. Assembly line. I like to do crossword puzzles. I'm just not really good at, I don't know a lot of some of the things, so I always try them. My dad was pretty good at them. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and then I will be putting the pockets into them, and I will be right back. So I'm going to go to the sewing room. I'm going to put these on first, then I'm going to sew these onto the inside. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my 3 covers are sewn, and I do need to do a little trimming on a couple of them because remember the 12 by 12 paper was a little off, and I didn't trim the other 2. So I'm going to do that real quick because I don't want to forget, because that's what I would do next. So checking for any overhang and trimming it off. And check both sides, because sometimes if you have overhang on one side, it's because it was a little off, but that was because of the 12 by 12 paper wasn't truly 12 by 12. Okay, so I'm going to put these 2 aside, and we are going to go ahead, and I am going to get my journal ready to sew the signature in. So look at how cool that looks. And so I'm going to go through and make sure that things are where I want them. Okay, so like the smaller things, some of them I'll push up just because the bottom usually is more full of stuff. Okay, so these 2 papers here have gotten separated. Put them back together. Okay. So, and I showed you how I put the pages together in the video yesterday. So, if you're curious to how I chose where the pages were going to go, that was yesterday's video. Okay, I think we'll put this one up, this one up. So you don't ruin the surprise of that butterfly right there. Okay, and then our center, I want this centered. Okay, so now go ahead, close it. And see how it all fits. Okay. Okay, so this one paper that's in the center here is coming out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead, it's too brave. or that other word. Meaning not smart. Okay, so since this is closer to the center, it needs to be smaller than the 8.5 by 11. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay, anything else? I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to see if I have a template this size, because I probably do, or close. It's single signature, so it's not as you just have to have your, just have to have them lined up. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in the journal, and I should have about 1/4 of an inch on the top and 1/4 of an inch on the bottom, and all my pages on the inside should line up. And then we can go ahead and put our template in the center here. Okay. And I'm going to grab my large paper clips and put them in, and then I'm going to go ahead and bind this journal, and we'll be right back. If you're looking for binding videos, I'll put a binding video at the end of this. I'll put 2 binding videos. I'll put the binding video, how not to bind a journal. So one time when I was binding on camera and so many things went wrong, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of funny. And then I'll put a video where I did bind a journal, and that you'll find them at the end screen. So here we go. I'll be back. Okay, so I have it all sewn in, and so the next thing I'll do is I'll go through and fold out all the pages so that it's going to be easier for it to open and close. And then I go through and I will go ahead and close all the pockets, make sure all the pockets are glued shut, and then I'm going to add the rest of the embellishments. So there we go. Just makes it so much easier to use it. So here's a pocket that we're going to need to close. So I'm going to go ahead and close this pocket. So that's what I'll do next, is I'm going to go through and close all the pockets and glue them. So we'll go ahead and fast forward that. Okay, so my pockets should all be taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the crossword puzzle here that I added, just to put some glue on the crossword puzzle and some on my wallpaper. Now my wallpaper, it you can see that it has ridges and stuff, so I want to make sure that it's going to stay down. Then I want to add my butterfly to the cover, and this is going to drive me crazy, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull out my little helper here and use that to hold this down while I'm working on my cover. And that's because I have that band going on in there. So I'm going to go ahead and add some double-sided tape to the area of the butterfly that probably is going to be on the card. Okay, so I have this just double-sided tape. Put it down, pull it up. Okay, and then on the rest of the butterfly, I'm going to go ahead and add glue. So I have the double duty here, the the double-sided tape is going to go ahead and help hold everything down, and the glue will hold it down permanently. But we know that the glue probably won't hold really well. If you're here for the premiere, I'm waving hi, and say hello to Midnight. Hi, Midnight. I'm so glad you've joined us for this video. We are in the premiere format, which means this is a pre-recorded video, which is really cool because that means I get to be over there in the chat and I can answer questions and get to know everybody. It's pretty awesome. So make sure that if you're here at the premiere that you come on over and say hi. If you're watching this video later, we are so glad you're here, and do go ahead and let us know you've been here by saying hi down below. We also have our Facebook group, and the link for that is in the description box down below. So I hope you will join us over there at Scrap All About It with Dear Julie. And now back to our program on the playing cards. So we've got both things going on there. So that is what I'm going to do for my cover, and I love it. Now, you could go ahead and add a word or something here. I'm not going to do that this time. So then I would go ahead, do the same thing to my other covers, but we're gonna move on. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to add my first edge. Okay, and for the sake of helping with this, I'm going to go ahead and use my little thing to help hold that down, and then we'll grab one for the top because I'm going to be gluing at the edge, and I'm going to just glue the edges down. I'm not going to add my charms or things to the edges in this video. That will be the ruffle and edge video, but I want to go ahead and start putting these down. Okay, so I'm just going to measure. This is the Dollar Tree lace. I love this lace. So I'm going to need, I can go ahead. I'm gonna put 3 of them in this journal. So there's 1, there's 2, and this will help with anything that, you know, where your edges are not even. You have the creep has happened, all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna add lace. So this could count as one of my edges, but of course it needs to be embellished with 3 items. So I'm going to come back and show you the embellishing in the next video. Okay, so there's 1. Just make sure that that's down good. I love the Dollar Tree lace. It's one of my favorite things to be able to add. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the center of the journal for my next one. That's one of the things I like to do, is go to the center and this is really interesting paper that my dad had. I don't know that it will hold with glue. If it doesn't, I will have to be creative and sew or staple it. That's okay. I want one of them in the center. Okay. So there we go. And then for the last one, going towards the back, I'm not going to put it on the very back page. this, yeah, I will, because you'll still see it from there. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the very back page. And we'll pull it up so that, okay, so that will give me an edge. I like that. There we go. And now I want to go ahead and talked about this little guy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold this over. Okay, I'm going to fold him over. And I'm going to cut across. Okay, so I've taken this piece out. Okay, now I can use this for embellishments, but there, now I have this great pocket. Okay, so that's been taken care of. Yay. So now I did see that there were a couple things that I wanted to do in the video, so I didn't. Okay, so there's the other side of our bag. So here's our other double tuck. Now we can go ahead and put this down, and it would not be a double tuck. It would be a large tuck, and I kind of like that idea, and because it's different. So this is the envelope flap here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my glue on there, and then put that down. Okay, so utilizing the things that are already there, that flap is there, so as long as we let this dry, okay, and then we'll be able to add like one of the large tags there, or, ouch, those were my glasses. Ow. Okay. So I can only find one of these. I've got to see where the other two are. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and add this large tag there. Okay. And it should be able to go, and that would be like a little pocket. Okay. And then, of course, if you have a larger paper or something that you want to add, you can put something in with it. Okay. So there's that. Then another thing that I wanted to do was to add, here we go. Add here I call it a tattoo, and usually I do it on the parchment, but we'll just find another piece of the noisy paper. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp. And so I have stamp. And I'm going to stamp in the brown. There we go. Oh. Okay, and then you can just stamp right on, and you could just go ahead and stamp right on your parchment, actually. Okay. Oh, I like that with the flower over there on the side, and that wasn't even on purpose. Maybe we'll just go grab another little flower and put it down here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so just that subtle. Okay, so we just go around and stamp our butterfly and our little flower. I'm going to turn them over because there, I'll have more control. Okay. So here's the back of our one of our pockets. Here's the other side of our parchment paper right here, or noisy paper. It's not parchment paper. I don't know for sure. It's another one of the things that came from my dad's office. So I like that, just adding the little bit. Okay, so you just go through and add a little bit of something different and fun. Wow, this one's been here for a long time. I use this stamp a lot. Oh no, I broke one of my favorite stamps. Oh well. There we go. Okay. So if you have something that you're using, you can go ahead and just add a little bit of it. Throughout the journal, and it will help to give you that cohesive look. And the cool thing about stamping is it doesn't add any bulk, and I liked that. I was like, okay, well, I've got one up there. I think it would be kind of cool to have one down here. Then we have this other pocket. Make lemonade out of lemons here with my broken stamp. So we just made our own little decorative paper there. Okay, so that is adding stamping. Okay. And there we go. So we've closed all of our pockets, we've added our cover, we've finished decorating our cover, we added some edges to the journal. I think looking at this, I'm actually going to want to add another edge here, just because there's a couple places in this front part of the signature that have bigger area. Okay, so bigger area, meaning that they've got embellishments there that are making the space between the front of the journal and the middle of the journal bigger than the front to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here, and that way I'll have 4 edges, and when you put it together it looks more like it's supposed to be like that. Okay, so we will be back with the ruffles and the charms. A closure and signature ties will be the next video. I'm adding a junk journal playlist over here, and just as I promised, I will add the how not to bind your journal video over here, and those are for your crafty watching pleasure or for some crafty company. Find something to celebrate every day. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to be here tomorrow, 10:30 every day. Have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye.